If you think using loops makes you less of a producer, you've been lied to. Every producer should learn how to make melodies, but loops give you instant inspiration, make collaboration effortless, and can spark ideas you'd never come up with yourself. By avoiding them, you're holding yourself back from creating beats that could have been your biggest hits. In this video, I'll show you how to use loops the right way, why top producers use them all the time, and why you should too. And if you want some loops to start with, I just dropped a brand new loop kit with 50 melodies and the stems completely free, so just click the link in the description to get them, and let's get straight into it. Throughout the video, I'll be talking about some of the benefits of using loops, and I've broken them down into 5 main points. I'm also going to be talking about some of the negatives and common myths I hear from producers, and some of the reasons why I think producers hold themselves back, especially when it comes to the business side of using them. But the first benefit is they save time. Making melodies can sometimes be the longer part of the process. I know, for example, when I'm making melodies, especially when they're for kids, I can easily spend over an hour making one loop. And if you've paid for studio time, especially if you have an artist with you, sometimes it's easier to just start with that foundation and get some quick ideas going. For me personally, I know the hardest part of making a beat is actually starting something, because I have this internal pressure of needing to make something good, not using the same chord progression and making it sound like all my other beats, and I find it really hard to not overthink these things. So if I'm ever struggling like that, or I have a bit of beat block, I'll just go through some loops until I hear something that inspires me. In the Pandemonium loop kit, which you can download for free using the link in the description, there's 50 loops in here, all composed by me, and they all come with the stems and the BPM and key, and I'll give you a quick preview of them. Called. So the majority of them are dark, but there's some melodic and different vibes too. Like this one, it's more R&B. It's one of my favorites. Make something wild with this. I'm hearing some UK rap vibes with this one. Might even use this today. Switching it up with some melodic stuff. It's one of my favorites. I'll show you some more soon, but let's start cooking up because I want to use this one. And whenever I pull in a loop, you just want to match the BPM, and always check for some silence at the beginning. I always trim mine, so you shouldn't need to. And with the stems, I always add a 4-bar gap and add a hi-hat in between, so you know exactly where to cut it. So you could just make a cut on every hat and bring them under each other. Then you know we can remove 2 bars before, bring everything back. We could trim the end. And I always set this to generic bleeding, so there's no clicks or pops. Then you just need to listen, because not everything's going to be playing at the same time. For this one though, we could just keep the main loop because I want to keep that sub bass in. So let's add a pattern for drums. Go to my Pyroverse trap bundle, which has all my latest trap and drill sounds, so I'll leave a link to that in the description too. Let's try this one. For the hats, we can just grab something like this, and for these type of beats I like to have a slower hat pattern and then a fast one for the hook. So we can copy that. So we'll save that, and then in this one we'll make this one a bit faster. Yeah, just so we have a little switch up. Then maybe add another snare just to help with the bounce there. Yeah, there we go. I'm hearing someone like Fredo all over this. Let's grab an open hat. Let's try this one. I want a normal sounding one too. Yeah, I'm thinking that. Just to layer with some of the kicks. Yeah, maybe just on the one. Then let's layer this with a snare. Then a couple more at the end. So this is what I'm saying, man. We can get ideas down pretty quick. Let's see if there's any perks we need. Let's try a rim. Yeah, even just that. Maybe this one. I'm hearing it somewhere around here. Alright, the only other thing I might need to add to this one is an 808 to switch it up. I'm going to keep it simple for this one and just use the spins because most UK rap beats have it. We could just copy the kick pattern in and then adjust the notes. It's more like that. That could work too. Alright, but I'm thinking where we have that 808, the slower hats can come in. Let's make a little cut here. Let's cut the drums here as well. Mostly thinking start with some slower hats here. Then when it gets to this part, the energy is just going to pick up. And I'm just going to grab the vocal stem as well, because I want that to be in the intro too. Maybe we could pitch the whole thing down an octave just for the intro. And then we can bring the hats in here. And these fills in my kit are usually for drill, but I'm liking how they sound here. I could just match that with a riser. I think this beat's done now. It's just a quick cut. One more advantage of using loops is some people who make loops spend most of their time making melodies. And because of the time they put into it, they're probably going to be better than someone who focuses most of their time on drums, or even someone who does a mix of both because they're just really trying to master one craft. So by working with someone who focuses on loops, you'll probably be able to make beats at a much higher quality. It goes hand in hand. The people who just focus on loops probably aren't the best at drums, and the people who focus more on drums probably aren't the best at loops. Personally, I like to work on both, so I know that my melodies might not be the best in the world, but that's okay because I know what it would take to become that person. It's the same with anything in life, man. If you think about anyone who's the best at what they do, they don't spend a lot of time focusing on other things. They just try and master one craft. So by working with someone who's amazing at loops, you get access to a whole new skill set. Let's have a quick listen to this before we move on.
Cactus.
This one came out hard. You could easily hear someone like Fredo or Pot of Paper. Vocals sound sick. Yeah, the mix of the slow and fast hats. Crazy. Then we got the 808. Fire first beat, man. Let's see if we can cook something else up though. You know what? I really like this one. I've got an idea for the bounce too. Textures in this one are mad. Yeah, let's bring this in, and this one's 96 BPM. And another reason I think you should be using loops is just the fact that you're collaborating with someone. I always think about it this way. If I'm making a beat with another producer, I'm probably doubling my chances of landing a placement, if not more. Because if I cook up a beat and send it back to the producer who sent me the loop, they're going to be sending it out to the artists they know. I'll be sending it out to the artists I know. And they might just have a huge network of artists that I don't even know about. Plus, if they upload it to their beat store and I upload it to mine, we're doubling our chances of getting sales. I don't mind uploading a beat to my Type Beat channel if the other producer is going to upload the same one, just because we might have two completely different audiences. The way the other producer packages their video might be completely different to mine. They might put a different artist in the title, different thumbnail, and you just don't know which one's going to take off. But at least if one of them does, then you're both going to win. And I think this is where some of the negatives come in as well, because I hear a lot of producers saying they don't use loops because they don't want to split royalties or publishing or even beat sales. And to me, that's just really short-sighted. And no disrespect, but it's always the producers with no motion who are complaining about having to split royalties. Most established producers understand the power of expanding your network, so they're not scared to use loops. They'll just do whatever's best in the moment to get the job done. Remember, hip-hop was literally built off sampling, so imagine if all the early producers never sampled because they were scared of not getting things cleared or having to split publishing. Hardly any hip-hop tracks would have been made. My approach has just always been to never limit myself in any way. I'll sample from YouTube, TikTok, I'll use loops. I don't care how big the sample is. If it inspires me, I'm gonna make the beat. Then if it gets placed or sold further down the line, we'll deal with any hurdles when they come. I just think, what's the point worrying about things that haven't even happened yet? I'm gonna go for a bit of a different bounce in this one. copy that hat. I'm actually going to reverse this one just to try and get a different sound. Let's grab an open hat. Yeah, there we go. Let's grab something like this. I'm hearing it here. Definitely hearing some log drums in this one. Let's go to my Planet Drill bundle. And I'm hearing a bass like this to go with the log drums. Yeah, maybe here. Then I think I need one more. And then a couple more log drums. And then one of the lower ones like this. We can just add this one up here, or even down here. Nah, I think up. And I don't think I need any more drums than that, you know. I think we could add one of these fills as well. We'll get a bit of delay on that second fill. Right at the end before the hook, I'm just going to bring the melody down an octave. Yeah, it's all this one needs. Let me know in the comments who you're hearing on this one. You could hear someone like J Hus. And then we got the log drums coming in this part here. Okay, so this beat's pretty much done, and it's a bit different to my usual stuff, and that leads me on to the next positive point about using loops, and that's you end up making beats that you wouldn't normally have made yourself. Every producer has their own unique taste, and that's what sets people apart. So if you use loops from other producers, you're getting access to their whole style. There's been so many times where people have sent me loops and I've just been blown away by the whole sound, and I always thought I would have never made something like that. I just think producers who don't use loops sort of box themselves into their own sound. And while I do think it's good to have your own sound, you can still add your own touch to these loops. The producer who made it might not have thought to add the drums that you added, and you might not have thought to create the melody that they made. So merging those two things together just creates really unique styles. Well, you know what? This one's definitely my type of vibe. I think we run with this. I haven't made a drill beat in a while, you know. Let's just try a few unique snares as well. Let's copy that. I'm liking the sound of this one as well. Even though I made this Planet Drill bundle a while back, I still use it to this day, man. The sounds are goated in here. Might use one of my all-time favorite 808s as well, this Rider one. Usually with drill beats, I like to have a 16 bar 808 pattern. So let's group these together. Maybe more like this. Actually, maybe not that one. And then I just want to add a couple fills like this, just for some atmosphere. Okay, I'm going to arrange this one quick too. I'm not going to overdo it. Man, I forgot how many layers this loop actually has. But it actually leads me on to my last point, because you can also use loops as a learning tool. When I was learning how to make melodies properly, I used to dissect loops and I'd figure out what type of layers people are using and how people are structuring them. For example, if you brought one of these in, you could listen to the stems one by one. Then you might think, okay, there's a high pad here, some lower texture there, more drones, and then a synth, and you can keep going through. So we've got vocals, some reverse keys, another layer of vocals. So by dissecting the stems and listening closely, you can actually learn a lot from people's loops. I'm going to copy all of the drums over. So all of these stems will be the hook, and I think we just need one more section. Cut everything here. I'm going to bring the sub bass in, and then a few of the layers here. I might even bring the vocals in here as well. And then I'm going to cut all of the drums here. Then let's bring all the drums back. Okay, I think this beat's done, but before we play the final thing, I just want to bring up one more point about loop kits. When producers sell loops and kits, some people don't like the fact that they're not 100% royalty free, or they're only royalty free up until something like 1 million streams, which is how I do it. Just know that when you buy loop kits online, you're usually just paying for a license to use them in your own production. I think of it the same way as leasing a beat. I always find it funny that people would get mad that they'd have to share royalties if they got a song over 1 million streams or a major artist placement. If you think about it, you've probably paid like $30 for a loop kit. If you make one beat sale, you've made that back. And if you get a placement with a major artist, why wouldn't you want to bring the other producer in? At that point, you're probably getting a nice advance, a share of your publishing and royalties, and everything that's just worth way more than the initial payment. All I'm saying is don't be put off when you find loops that aren't 100% royalty free, because as long as the terms are straight and you know what you're getting, the potential to earn is way more than what you'd spend for the loop. But let's have a listen to this one. Count snare bounce is sick.
Cactus.
This one sounded cold. We've got this bridge here. So I hope you guys like this video. If you want to download 50 loops for free, I've left a link to the new kit in the description. Or if you want to watch more videos just like it, then click up here.